All right, so welcome to another episode of Camaro Restoration. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the disassembly videos. And now I'm kind of shifting gears and getting back to this block. And we're going to get this block clearanced hopefully tonight. And I say we because Matt's on his way over and he's done this before. I've never done this. I'm going to do the work, but he's going to kind of guide me through it. Maybe I'll watch him do one cylinder first. But I've done a lot of metal work. I'm familiar with how metal reacts when you try to file it down, sand it, shape it, whatever. So I think this is going to be, I'm definitely not going to say easy. I'm not going to say intimidating, but a little bit scary because you are grinding on your block. Now this block is a really nice block. It's a 4-bolt main, lucky find out of a salvage yard. And my understanding is that we need 80 thousandths of an inch, and we have 51 thousandths of an inch clearance between the block and the connecting rod bolts. And to kind of back up, the reason that we have to do this clearancing is because this is a 383 rotating assembly going into a 350 block. So there's a little bit of grinding and cutting that you have to do to make sure that you have the proper clearances between your, really your block. It's not your cylinder walls, it's just this part of the block right here and your connecting rods. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. And as soon as Matt gets here, we're going to get into this thing and we're going to have some fun. And I'm really excited about this. I've really been looking forward to learning more about, engine building and how all this stuff works and how it all comes together. And I can tell you, doing it really helps you out a lot. It gives you a lot of visuals, and it's just been fun. It's a heck of a lot more fun than pulling fenders off of a Camaro, I can tell you that. That was not that enjoyable. This is going to be enjoyable. So, like I said, as soon as Matt gets here, we'll get into this. All right, while we're waiting on Matt to get here, let me show you our tool of choice. And this is just a basic Dremel tool, Dremel 4000, and I bought some carbide bits for it. And these carbide bits are supposed to make pretty light work of grinding down metal. So we're going to see how these work. We have some other options too, like a file or even a flap disc, but I think it'd be pretty hard to fit a grinder in there. So that's what we got. We're going to give that a try and see how that works. All right, so Matt's here, and right now we're hanging out with the dogs, but want to show you guys how little we're going to have to grind on this thing. And what we did, we have a feeler gauge, but we got a digital caliper. We locked it in at 80 thousandths, and then ironically a clothes hanger, which I don't know if you can see with all this junk. Clothes hanger is pretty darn close to 80 thousandths. It's just a hair under. I would probably say it's 75-ish, but it gets us close without having to use the feeler gauge. So check this out. All right, so see the bolt head down there, right there? And then there's the clothes hanger, and it just barely, we just have to take just a little bit off of there to make that work. And it's the same way on that side, this side here, where that white mark is. And that's what we've got to clip right there. And we just have to buzz that off a little bit, both sides. And we got to do that all the way down, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think that's going to be too bad.
No, those skip white rods they did with the chamfered bolts, and you having that service where they already mocked them up, clearance the rods and all that. Yeah, it's hardly anything at all.
Okay. All right. So you ready to? What do we got to do? Get this crank out of here?
Yeah, we'll pull the crank out. We'll mark each one of those, and then we'll do each one fairly uniform. Throw the crank back in it. Then we'll put all the rods and pistons in it and check every single one of them.
Check every one. Yep. All right. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got the crankshaft out, and we've got all these walls here are really just marks on the inside of the block here.
It's really the factory notches are already there in the casting to clear that anyway.
Just got to dig it out a little bit more, right? Yeah. All right, pucker time. Time to grind. Let's get it.
In there. Yep.
Oh wow, look
dad's going to give you a hard time if you're not wearing glasses.
How much more do you think we need?
I would take, instead of going real wide, you only need a little piece right there. It's like a curve of the fingernail too, you know? I would almost come in it and just kind of...
All right, so we've got one side done, and that's what it looks like. Just knocking down that edge right there. And you know, that really wasn't that bad. Those, and that little carbide bit right there, I mean, that thing worked great. You guys saw it cutting in the video. Kind of cuts right through it. So now we got to do this side, same thing, but this side is not as close, so we're not going to take off as much material over here. All right, so just got done clearancing the block, and I'm kind of taking a break. That kind of break. And Matt's cleaning up the block, and we're going to get the crank. We're going to put the crank back in. We're going to put all 8 pistons and rods in, and then we're going to check the clearancing on all 8 cylinders. And if it's good, then we'll send the block back off to the machine shop for round 2 of machine work.
You guaranteed it was going to fit first time.
You what?
You guaranteed it was going to fit first time.
I did not guarantee. No such guarantee. All right, so here is the crank with all the pistons and connecting rods attached. And now we're going to test it all the way around to make sure that we have enough clearance. Casey, what do you think? Do you approve? What about you, Jake? You approve? Yeah, I got some wagging tails here, so they're saying it's right. Yeah, we get it, Jake?
So wait till you crank it up. Jake will be a little bit alarmed. Casey won't even...
Yeah, I'm sure Casey won't notice it, yeah.
Actually, she can hear a little bit. This thing will probably be loud enough where she can hear it.
Yeah, she's really awesome dog, hearing impaired, or deaf, I guess. But she's sharp. All right, that one's definitely good.
You want to just run down this side since you got your camera?
Okay.
Get our high-tech, high-tolerance measuring.
Our high tolerance coat hanger.
Brain surgery.
Yeah, let's see where we're at.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
I mean, there's nothing. It's not even close. We actually didn't have to take off as much metal as we did. So that one's good. Let's check another one. All right, here it comes. Coat hanger. That is not even close. Perfect. All right. Next one. There she comes. Nope. We're good. Oh, right there?
Yeah, right there. So right on the edge of that, when we take this back apart, you can just buzz it just a little bit right there.
So that one's a little tight.
So your guarantee's worth nothing.
Yeah, that one's a little tight, but not bad. So we're going to cut a little bit more right there where we marked it. Well, that one looks good.
Maybe a
that one.
Yeah. Oop. Plenty.
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 Okay.
Okay. So just a little bit
So
right
we
there
just
on that
gotta
one.
do
And a little bit
2.
right there. Good. Good job, John.
All right. Yeah. No, I think that was actually kind of fun. So now we got
First one, you were a little nervous, right?
I wasn't nervous. So we're gonna take all this apart, grind those 2, and we're gonna be done, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
I just like doing this.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah. I mean, that is really cool. It's really amazing how one of these things actually works.
And even at idle,
Even
it's
yeah,
going so much faster than that, you can hardly even see it.
that's crazy. It's awesome. All right. We got to take it all back apart now.
Yep.
All right, so you know, what a great experience that was to do this and to clearance a block. Never done it before in my life. I know my buddy Matt has done it a couple of times in his past, and you know, he kind of guided me through it, but I did all the grinding, and I wasn't intimidated by the grinding. I was it's a little scary to grind on your block that you know, you've sunk some good money into, but I think everything went really well. I'm pretty pleased with how it looks. It's not the, I'm kind of looking down at the block as I'm talking, not the prettiest little grinds in the world, but again, everything went really well. The little carbide, really pretty cheap set of bits that I bought just really took that material away very, very easily. So that was worth the 10, 12 bucks that I paid for them on Amazon. All right, so next up for this block is to, it's got to go back to the machine shop for round 2 of machining and a good cleaning. So the cleaning will come first. They'll do the final machining, press in the cam bearings, put in the freeze plugs, and I'm going to bring in my pistons, connecting rods, crankshaft, and make sure just that they're good with everything up there at the machine shop. Now, they don't do assembly there at this particular machine shop, but I just want them to kind of look at everything and make sure everything's going to work. So I'm pretty excited to get this thing back from the machine shop. At that point, all the machine work on the block is done. I can tape it up, I can paint it. Final assembly on the rotating assembly. I can start to look at the block a little bit differently now, because that bottom end phase will be done, and move on to the top end. And got to make some not tough decisions, kind of fun decisions on what heads I want to use, what intake. Am I going to go with some kind of a, you know, EFI Holly sniper type system, or am I going to go old school carbureted? I don't know. So those are all coming up in future videos. So really appreciate you guys checking out this video, following along for the build. It's going to be a really cool car when I get it done. It's going to be a really cool motor when I get that done. So if I don't see you guys before Christmas, if I don't put out another video, have a Merry Christmas, be safe, Happy Holidays, and thanks for watching.